Hey everyone, Anita van Rooyen, confidence coach and human behavior expert here. Was going to be live today, but it seems that the internet in my area has got whole other ideas. So I'm coming to you recorded today. And this morning as I was meditating, a theme that came up that I just had to write down super fast so I didn't forget was, back to front, forgiveness. And it is a huge thing that we can look at while we've got some time. It's again a very strange time in our lives, in history, and forgiveness is one of those things that can really help us as humans to grow, to change, and to manage a whole lot of stuff a whole lot better. Quick backstory from me. I grew up in the country in a small country town called Bright, right near Mount Buffalo, Mount Buller, in the ski fields in Melbourne or in Victoria. And when we left there, I just really struggled, I think, with leaving there. I was a very shy child, grew into a shy kind of adult and then dealt with that. But grew up very shy, incredibly shy, in fact. And that was a garbage truck just going past. Grew up incredibly shy and with not very many friends. And when we left there, I used to tell my dad how much I hated him for doing that, for making me leave my friends, leave the people that I knew. And I told him that with all of the aggro that kind of, a 5-6 year old kid can muscle up, which was a whole lot. There was a lot of emotion in me that I didn't know how to deal with. And years and years later, I think it was either at Dad's 50th or 60th birthday, I ended up apologizing to him and asking for his, forgiving him, I suppose, realizing that, he was doing the best for the family. We were in a situation where finances weren't great. And so he moved us back to the city and the whole family back to the city for a really good reason, but as a 5-6 year old kid who was really shy, didn't understand that at the time. So as I said, years later, apologized to him in a mess of tears and I thought that was all great. And then a number of years later, a lot of years later after that, realized that whilst I had forgiven Dad for what he had done, I'd never actually forgiven myself for the things that I had done, the things that I had said, the emotions that I had felt at the time and how I had expressed those to Dad. So by this time, Dad had already passed away, and so I couldn't actually physically just go and tell him what had happened and my need for forgiveness for myself. But through the process of forgiving myself and being okay with the fact that, I was actually a 5 or 6 year old kid. I was doing the best that I could do also. And I needed to forgive me for the things that I had done that, the adult in me then went, yeah, really not cool, but also totally understood from a perspective of 5 and 6 year old child. So forgiveness is such a powerful thing. I know when I started going through this process of forgiving my dad, forgiving myself, a whole lot of things changed even within kind of the biology of me. A ring that was Dad's, once I had forgiven myself, every time I wore it, it used to leave like this red bubbly kind of mark on my skin. And from the time then I forgave myself for what I had said to Dad, that changed. Now I can wear Dad's ring on my finger without any impact on my skin at all. So forgiveness holds a lot of power and a lot of energy for us. It's a very heavy emotion. It feels very heavy when we haven't forgiven ourselves. And once we do forgive ourselves, it allows that weight to fall off our shoulders for us to be able to start living a life that is a much more useful and beautiful way to live, living with forgiveness for yourself and for others. So my challenge for you today is to have a look at who it is that you need to forgive, looking external to yourself, but also turning that mirror around onto yourself and looking at how you can forgive yourself. It's a challenging thing to do. It's a beautiful thing to do. And if you need help with that, it's certainly one of the things that I help people with. So I would be more than happy to help you through that process as well. Anyway, enough chitter chat for me. Hopefully my internet is getting closer to being back on so I can post this for you. Be well, be love, and we'll talk to you soon. And forgive. This is the message for today. Be well. Love you. Bye.